Hi, I'm Rev Myron. I'm a minister through Pathways of Light, and I've been a Course in Miracles student for 40 years. I'm going through the lessons this year asking Jesus to clarify for me, and then I'm writing from that clarity, and that's what I'm sharing with you today. So let's get started. Today, we're looking at lesson 176. This is one of the review lessons from review 5. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Give me your blessing, Holy Son of God. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I am as God created me. I start my day by remembering that God is love and he is my creator. Therefore, I am love as well. If I am love, then love is all I can give. If I give anything else, then I'm pretending to be what I am not. I'm trying to recreate myself and thus become my own God. I used to devote all my time to this fool's errand, but I'm wiser now. These days, I'm devoting my time to letting go of that kind of thinking, and I'm practicing reminding myself of the truth. God is only love and nothing else. Therefore, he can only give me love, and I am only love. Therefore, I can give only love. One of the ways I practice the truth and help myself remember who I am is to remember everyone else's true identity. If I feel anything but love for someone, I bring them into the circle of peace in my mind. I see us both entering the circle of golden light. I ask for his blessing as I give him mine, and the fiction that is our bodies disappears as we become part of the light. We rest there until we're cleansed of the belief we could ever be separate. When I return to take on the idea of a body again, the illusion pulls me in, but not as far as before. I bring a bit of that heavenly experience with me into the world. My mind is not confused as before, and I have at least an inkling of what it means to be as God created me. This bit of truth grows each time I take that journey inward and find the light. With consistent practice, the outer world too begins to glow with a light, and I can't find anyone I don't see as my brother. It seems we are as God created us after all. This is a message I received once when feeling the pull of the ego. The Holy Spirit said, "Precious child, I have always been with you and will never leave you. I am part of you, and it is my function to guide you. We are filled with love and gratitude for the vigilance you have shown as you practice the course. We rejoice as we watch you slowly open your eyes and learn to see truly. For a while longer, you will be tempted by the ego and will be drawn back into the dream. But as I've said before, never again will you be completely lost in it. Do not allow yourself to think of the ego as a powerful adversary. The Son of God has no adversary. The ego is just a thought. It is a thought that there is something other than God. In dreams, it seems to have caused untold pain and fear. It is a thought of murder and guilt, but in the end, it is only a thought. How often have you thought one thing and then changed your mind? Because you have held this thought for so long and because you have defended it with layers of concealment, you have made it seem something more than just a thought. But I assure you that's all it is. When you're ready to simply stop thinking it, all that will be left in your mind is the love of God. The following is something that happened while I was still working. So that was, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, probably longer than that. One day I had a wonderful opportunity to practice what I have been learning. Lately, one of our chief competitors has become very proactive in soliciting our customers and is sometimes successful. I went to see a very large customer, and while he had not bought from the other company, I could tell by his questions he had been approached. When I left, I noticed how anxious I was. I noticed fear and fear defenses in my mind. Luckily, I had just downloaded the Holy Spirit's interpretation of the New Testament and was listening to Matthew while I drove. This was wonderfully helpful to me as I looked at the fear. I also received many thoughts from the Holy Spirit to help me remember the truth. I remembered that this situation did not scare me. Nothing about it is a cause of my fear. It is a fear in my mind that caused the situation. So correcting the situation will not solve my problem. I imagine a picture of myself seeing a fearful situation as a leak in the levee. I put my hand over the leak to keep the water out, and just out of reach is another leak. Yikes, what now? This is what it's like trying to control the effects of the fear I've given a home in my mind. The only real solution is to recognize where the fear comes from and ask for healing. It was hard at first because I couldn't take my eye off the water gushing out of the leaking levee. It's, it's very hard to convince a thinking mind to ignore its warning system, what the body's eyes tell it, and to understand the cause of the problem is somewhere else. So that is why I shut the thinking mind down entirely. It is only a distraction in a case like this. I repeated my mantra several times. I allowed it to calm me down and take me from my thinking mind to my heart. There, I was reminded of the love my Father has for me. I was reminded that I am not fear. If I were fear, God would have to be fear as well because he created me like himself. I remembered to ask him what I should do rather than asking the ego mind. I remembered my purpose. My purpose has nothing to do with keeping customers. My job is to extend love to them and my competitors alike. I had to repeat this or parts of it a few times, but in the end, peace prevailed. It was interesting to note that as I lost interest in financial fears, the ego tried to hook me with bodily fears, then relationship fears. Persistent little devil. Thank you so much for sharing this lesson with me. And if you found it helpful, then please subscribe. And I will be back tomorrow with another lesson.